Hey everybody, John Osborne here with Basecamp Trading. Today we're looking at Roku. Roku is up almost 10% since they had earnings last Friday. That was on May 1st. And the reasons for this rise, you can see that jump right here. This is last Friday right here and a couple bars up. And the reasons are because the revenue is up 22.4% year over year. That's the strongest growth they've seen in 4 years. They had an earnings of 57 cents in the first quarter versus a consensus, which was as high as 35 cents. So they beat earnings, beat revenue. They also put in 4 profitable quarters in a row, meaning they've marked a return to profitability. And they've shown that their advertising revenue is up from the connected TV environment, up 27% as well. So another part that's important is Roku management raised guidance with a 2026 revenue forecast of $5.5 billion, and they're expecting $1.3 billion of those dollars in Q2 alone. The result is a bunch of firms raised their price targets into the 150 to 170 range. We're currently at the 126 area, and that means we're expecting to see a 26 plus. And that means we're expecting to see a pretty sizable move up here of at least $25 based on those positive outlooks. Now, a couple of the things, Roku's almost up about $50 from its February 11th low. That's about 62%. And the weekly expectation here, you can see we went through this resistance in the last couple of weeks. So our next weekly high is up at 139.58. That's a difference from where we are now of about $12 or $13. So we've got that as our next pivot. Now, some drawbacks here, and as far as timing, one of the things we can point out here is that we are a little bit extended and we do have a bearish divergence on the daily. So maybe now isn't the right time, but I think it's worth watching for an opportunity here. Should we get a little bit of a pullback or a possible bull flag kind of setup here? What's interesting is that we already do have a bull flag. It's a little hard to see here on the monthly. We already have a bull flag that we triggered, and that was in March. And then April, you can see we just took off to the upside. So we're just getting started in May here. We broke above this recent resistance. So really, we're in an uptrend here, a nice uptrend breaking out of this region here. And there's no resistances until we get all the way back up here to 490.76. Now, on the weekly, you can see there's a few more resistances. Occasionally, for example, the next resistance after that 139 area would be up at 178. And now we're talking where the analysts are pushing us. So there's no immediate action here unless you feel compelled to just jump in and ride this. But if you're trying to time it a little bit better, you might want to wait until we don't have pending bearish diversions. And remember, this can just push right through. If we keep going up, we'll watch our fast line go higher and break above this pivot high, and we won't have a divergence. But should this form a pivot, for example, if we put in a couple bars to the right and this becomes a pivot high, I'd be a little more wary of sideways and maybe even a little bit down move following this divergence that's set up here. But it's worth keeping an eye on for many positive reasons that I outlined, and the opportunity to go up $12 or $13 here at the next resistance, and maybe a whole bunch more. The all-time high for Roku is way up close to $500, and that's up at 490.76. So there's a lot of opportunity here if you decide you want to get in. So watch for an opportunity. We'll see what's next. The next earnings will be about 3 months from May 1st, and look for that possibility. If you like this kind of analysis, join us for $7 for 30 days. You can find out how to do that in the comment section below.